Hey y'all, it's Lew.
I'm Zac.
Welcome to the Appreciation Podcast.
Episode 2.
You know, we doing Isekai today. It's gonna be funny. We going to different worlds, boy.
For real though. For real. I'm still like dumbfounded that this was the topic that was chosen. Like,
Yeah, no, you got my dime.
I got your
You
dime
got
in
my
wallet.
dime from last episode, so
See if you can win it back this time.
I probably won't. We've added so many new topics too, so like it's gonna be funny what we're doing next. But
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil too much. I mean, they're about to see it, but like this was more enjoyable than I thought.
Yeah, it was. I'm so glad that it was more enjoyable for you. Like, I went into this like having like a little bit of enjoyment and I think we'll talk about it soon about like the different shows that like I put into like my list. They're like you and I sat here and we're like, Zac, you should try checking this one out. It really gave me an addition, but kind of a different take.
You gave me heat.
I did.
You gave me heat, and I'm so grateful for that.
I'm
you,
glad,
brother.
dude. Of course.
Thank you, because
Yeah.
if I had to watch like 5 different vending machines.
I'm already depressed from that. Like, I don't even know if y'all can feel it, but yeah, no, there's a depression in the silence of my voice.
But enough of teasing y'all.
Yes.
Let's get into
Cue the intro. Yeah. Get into it. Well, yes. Let's start. Where do we want to start? Do we want to go into like a little bit of the history of things?
I think for me, I put the history for like both of us, but I feel like we should probably start like when we got this, how did you approach it?
When we got Isekai,
Obviously you already have some experience.
Oh,
you enjoy some of it, but like what was it like our sort of initial like thoughts?
Yeah, my initial thoughts was like I really liked a lot of the Isekai that I found because I think my whole journey into Isekai was like I started with a couple shows and like I was like, oh, this concept is so cool, and I didn't even realize, back when I started watching Isekai that it was as it was, because I feel like I vividly remember this day because it was like one of the first days that like you and I like really talked at work, and like I was telling you about like different ones that I watched, and like I was like, oh bro, you should totally check out like I think I might have said ReZero or like Rising a Shield Hero, and you were like, oh word, I think
you definitely said Shield Hero because that was hot when we first started working together.
Oh yeah, no, it was like that was like when season 3 had dropped, and so I had that like kind of understanding initially, and then I also was aware because I had seen maybe like a couple episodes, a couple clips, seen like Reddit posts or something about like the harem fan service isekais that unfortunately are a good portion of the database, and
I mean, it's anime, it happens, you know what I'm saying?
It does happen.
It happens more than you want it to.
Yeah.
But like,
yes,
because like maybe I'll even be watching my peak One Piece, and I'm like, you get to a point where you're like, character designs, huh?
Yeah.
Proportions going on here.
Yeah, dude, I felt that. Like,
Nami really doesn't like wearing shirts after once they get to the New World. That's your time skip.
Yeah, I just started getting into this last night of like Classroom Elite, and like there's this moment like when the home teacher like comes in, and like I'm like, I called it in my brain. I'm like she's gonna have like a blazer and like a white shirt, and like only like half the shirt's gonna be buttoned, and it was exactly that. Like I was like, it's sad that I called that. Like, I'm in a state of like my anime
too
watching.
predictable.
Yeah, I just am like, I know exactly.
Throw me off.
Yeah, that's why I love my Masato. Like a good, respectable, fun woman.
Yeah.
I'm a Masato simp.
That, alcoholic.
Yeah, dude. Like, you could not define my type without like just instantly coming up with Masato. A little bit older than me too. Like, dude, yeah.
A little bit older, a little bit of alcoholic, doesn't really know what they're doing.
Yes. Yeah.
But like,
Good intentions.
You know, they're trying their best.
Yes.
And that's what you gotta love.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's yeah. Well, enough about me.
Right.
What are your initial thoughts?
So you know, I'm
Yes.
not a huge fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, for me, I think like the way I sort of go about it, you know, you're just for people with background. I am not nearly as tech literate as Zac. Our show looks good, sounds amazing because of him.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
clap, loud applause for my man.
Thank you.
I'm a research guy. I'm a
Yes.
nerd.
Yeah.
I'm good at understanding things and being like, oh, reading them, like, oh, look at this. See what they're saying. They look at pie charts and data graphs.
I love that.
So I was like, okay, you know, I want to look at the historical stuff for this and like see if I can broaden my appreciation by seeing where this really comes from. Because this can't just be like a new thing where all of a sudden it's like, yeah, video game worlds, everyone's just going in and like it's the new power fantasy thing. Because like power fantasy has always been around. But I think that was the initial thing that I saw. So like the one that I knew was Sword Art Online. It was like 2014. So I was like, no, it was like 2016 because I was like clearly older.
Yeah.
The first time someone ever put me onto an anime was Kill la Kill. And I remember that specifically. That was like when I was like 14 years old. Shouldn't have watched that, but it was great. But I watched Sword Art Online. Somebody put me onto it. I get halfway through the first season. So, you know, like they're in the original world. Stuff happens. You're like, okay, they're doing the thing. He meets Asuna. You keep going. Yeah. And all of a sudden, they're in the towers. The villain just gets revealed out of nowhere.
Yeah.
The villain just gets revealed out of nowhere. He dies, ghosts. And that was the first thing where I was like, what?
That whole concept had me like,
because it comes
who's the big bad?
Because it comes out of nowhere where it's just like, oh, this is the bad guy. It's like, well, it kind of looks evil. Mm-hmm. That's okay. But then it's like, oh, wait, he killed him? Oh, what? And then he's just like, I'm still here. How? Yeah. How?
It's like a subconscious.
That doesn't make sense. And then they just don't really touch it. And then it gets into the second game, and you're like, there's just two. I don't want to go into it. There's just two things I have where I was like, I'm good. I don't want to be a part of this. I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, maybe one of those concepts might come up a little bit more with like one that we're watching, at least a little bit, like one of the shows that we watch. So I wasn't huge on it.
Mm-hmm.
But then looking into stuff that we had done, like, or stuff that I had watched before, where I'm like, oh, the concepts are incredibly similar. What's up, Rupert?
Yeah.
What's up? I love you, buddy. I love you, buddy, but I need you to get out of here.
The mascot making his
I know.
episode
he's got to be on camera.
Yeah.
He's always got to be on camera.
That's a part of his contract. Like, he just has to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we signed the contract with him.
Yeah.
So he needs his appearances. He needs his TV time.
He represents us. Yeah.
Yeah. But I really didn't like, so I looked and I was like, oh, there's all these things that I had seen, but I did not really know. Like the word isekai or like kind of similar elements.
Yeah.
So I think I wrote some down of like growing up, Toonami, watching Inuyasha.
Oh yeah.
With like my brother. Spirited Away, like Digimon, like all that kind of counts where I'm like, oh, interesting. I did not think of it like that. And I'm like, okay, cool. You know what? That's what's up. So maybe I like a little bit more of this. I thought I don't completely hate all the elements.
Yeah, it's just like you don't like kind of picture it like, I'm not trying to see isekai where this dude gets like sent to like another kingdom and it's like I know that they have to work on like farming
and it's like
skill.
that, and it's like, oh man, he's gonna get the video game power, or it's like, you know, I just see all those titles all the time where like that's another thing again where it's like, no, not even solo leveling, because I've heard. I still need to watch it. I've heard good things about it, more than just like the animation, just a lot of different things where I'm like, okay, you know what, that's cool.
Yeah, but that concept is like so prevalent in there that like they kind of like have to make all the other elements of that like really good.
But I think the video game element of it is just the sort of continuation of like these sort of just like fantasy elements, you know?
Yes.
Like that's the kind of new way that we engage in. Like back in the day, it was like, you know, you had your computer games, like your point and clicks, or you had like D&D, which I mean, I love D&D. We're putting that on the list.
Yeah.
Love some Dungeons and Dragons, but like stuff like that, you know, where it's like, okay, it's a continuation. That's why they're sort of more where it's like, okay, video games, because it's a language that makes sense to people now. It just seemed really cringe, bro.
Yeah.
To where everyone's like, I have a skill tree. It's like, you're supposed to be in like real life. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
Okay, like it's not what we're doing. But then, so I read a paper, like a full-on paper.
Yes.
I think I have the title right here too.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for that.
I might put on another one. Oh, what was the title of this paper? I will link it in the description because it's a very interesting read. It's not necessarily like super
It's like a
content heavy.
right?
It's more data heavy. It's about like surveys and all this other stuff, but just talking about thing like isekai manga and anime subsequently. And the big thing that I realized, like, oh, I know why I didn't like this growing up.
Yeah.
I know why I didn't. Because it got oversaturated.
For sure.
So fast.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, oh, it's like the cat. It's like how people don't like Marvel like superhero movies.
Yeah.
There's too many of them.
There's way too many.
There's too many too quickly. And it's like, there's still really good ones.
Yeah.
But like, if you just get the taste like in your mouth and you're like, there's too much of this, I'm tired of hearing about it all the time. It's like, yeah. Like I'll be scrolling. It's like, all right. You know, back when I was just like first starting One Piece and stuff. And then I see like, oh, sent to another world with a snap of my smartphone. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? Is it so like all these?
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing? Why are there so many different like fantasy, all this shows?
Yes. Yeah.
What is it? The name of the paper: a survey of story elements. A survey of the story elements of isekai manga by Dr. Paul S. Price.
Oh,
shout out to Dr. Paul.
Dr. Paul.
Dr. Paul. Goat.
Paul, no gray rat.
Wrote.
Paul, no gray rat.
No gray rat, bro.
No gray rat.
He ain't a rat. He a real one.
Yeah.
He's not a rat. He's a dog.
Yeah.
Straight dog. Wrote this paper.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But even like it breaks down into like different stuff, which like read it if you really want to. But like the big thing for me that I got to where I was like, oh, was when they were breaking down like the kind of different types and then just how far the story elements go back. Like I think the first sort of, or like looking at just the idea of the other world kind of thing.
Yeah.
Being like how far back it goes, where it's like, oh, the first time you see it in like Japanese like fiction or folklore and everything is like Urashima Taro, like in like the 8th century.
Oh wow.
So it's like goes so far back.
Yeah, that's very
it's like they didn't call it isekai because that didn't really become like a big term till like 2013.
Yeah.
But you know, it's been around. And then
was Truck-kun in that?
yeah. Well, nah, see, for me, the one that I saw and then I looked at, I was like, wait, I do like isekai. And I was like, Chronicles of Narnia. Oh, which, like, you know, the 2000 movies, love them. They're pretty good. Especially, you know, going to church all the time and then, like, you know, you're playing football and then you do the kick. Even just in school, you do the kickoff and then everyone yells for Narnia and then they start charging at each other.
Oh, yeah.
Really cringe, but like that was fun. That was what we did back in the day.
That's a staple.
That was what we did.
Yeah.
But even growing up and watching the like 1970s like VHS tape versions of them, there's like even older ones. They did all the books.
That's crazy.
All the books. Because like with the Chronicles, sorry, I won't go on Chronicles of Narnia rant. I think Lion, the Witch, and Wardrobe's like the 4th book.
Oh wow.
It's not the first one.
That's wild. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. There's like 8.
Learn something new every day.
Voyage of the Dawn Treader is the best one.
Here we go.
I was going to stop there. But yeah,
the list.
It just goes so far back where I'm like, okay, so there's more to this than just like, oh, I got video game powers now in this world.
Yeah.
And then I guess that's what started opening up my mind a little bit more first.
Yeah, see the I see the types that you had put in here. I'm like, okay, no, that's a great.
Yeah, no, it just gives like a sort of like big like overview of it where it's like, okay, there's different stuff going on here where it's like, oh, you got your Portal Quest stuff, you got your immersive, intrusion, liminal, like all these. It's just the way they find them in the paper.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, look at this, and I won't say that it's necessarily for me as helpful as like doing it,
Yeah.
like of understanding and appreciating the art form. But I think a little bit because then I see how much more varied it is, more than just like, oh wait, it's just the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like that's what it felt like.
I get that.
But I think the big thing where I was like, oh, that oversaturation part, I think we talked about it too when I first started reading this. So this is the number I have from 2017,
Yeah.
2019. And this was only sourced from one website called Anime Planet. So you don't know how many other light novels and other things were being made.
Oh, countless. Yeah.
385 Isekai manga series were published in that 2-year span.
From 2017
and 2019. 39 new anime series, Isekai anime series were broadcast, which they said that's roughly one a month. So every month you had a new show start.
And like every first episode's like almost mirrored.
Every first episode, that's the prevalence of Truck-kun.
Yeah.
That's why he's able to get t-shirts.
Yeah, that's
He's showing up everywhere. Every show, he's in there.
He's even in like non-isekais.
Dude, like, he's in Tokyo Revengers.
Dude, he is. Dude, yeah. He's in Fuka. Fuka, man.
Dude, dog is everywhere. But it's like, looking at that, I was like, oh, that's why. Oh
yeah,
this is too much. And I was like, I don't want to see this.
Yeah,
get this off my screen. Trash. Ugh.
I don't want to spit in its face. Yeah,
but let's get into some of these shows, man, because you gave me one. I want you to be able to talk about your experience because you completed all of them.
Yes,
I only got like halfway through all of them because especially at a point where I knew I was like, there are certain shows I'm like, I feel like it's gonna be a slog.
Yeah, but I think
the moment I started liking something, I was like, I'm gonna pause this because I'm gonna want to watch this on my own.
That's what I was literally just about to say. Like, well, because we kept like we're always in like constant communication, but like one good thing that we both come from with like a research analytical background is like we'll have like interjections like every once in a while, like where it's like, hey man, how you feeling about battle rap? And you're like, this, that, or yo bro, how you feeling about this isekai? And I'm like, I'm here, I'm there, like a small thought. But we keep like most of our research to ourselves. But like I knew, as we were just talking about like how your initial feelings were, like I was like, all right, like I have to give him D bangers.
And you're like, yeah, you gave me absolutely fucking fire, dude. It was so good.
I appreciate it.
Well, it was so good except for the one thing that the one big one that we shared together.
Yeah. Because that was like the two that we shared together. There's both of them were like obviously that we didn't watch.
Yeah.
So I was like, so when it came time for like me starting this, like I was like, okay, I've seen a good amount. I haven't seen like obviously like all like the different like main like isekais that like you should or like a lot of people see. And that's like how we were just talking about the intro episode of like sometimes I'm gonna steer away from the traditional things. I'm either going to be like with JJK, like I was there right as things started, before all the hype, or I'm gonna be in a situation where it's like I'm gonna wait and like do my own research, see how like this plays out before I get in like a hype train just to find that like I don't like the show.
Yeah. Like I feel like me and you sometimes we don't have the thing of like FOMO.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't really care if I miss out. Like I'm gonna get to it eventually.
Oh yeah.
And then I think especially for me, like if it's something starts getting hype and I'm not necessarily into it, I don't really care about spoilers.
Me too.
Yeah, I won't go in the anecdote of how I got to not care about spoilers.
Yeah.
But like,
I get
at some point I was like, I don't talk about spoilers. It was like where you're just like, no, I just want to enjoy the journey. Like for me and my dad, just me and him going and seeing Endgame, and then him being like, "Yeah, you see that Spider-Man scene?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, "Yeah, where he dies." Thank you. I have not seen anything.
Oh no!
You told me that he dies right before I start watching the movie. All right, I'm like, all right, spoilers don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Having a good time.
Like no, I get that. That's like what kind of like will sometimes will make me want to start this. Where I'm like, okay, like let's say we're talking like I'm trying to think of one that's completed that like wouldn't be a spoiler to like tell people like, okay, let's say I'm just talking about 1990s Neon Genesis, for example. And like, I'm like, oh, how does it end with like, does Shinji get with Rei, for example? And they're like, no, there's an even bigger twist. And I'm like, okay, well that intrigues me enough to like want to pursue the show.
Yeah,
even more.
You had a question answered, but not the full thing answered.
Oh yeah, it's like that kind of stuff. Well, even if I had that introduced, like I would like, and it tells. Well, I'm a spoiler because it's like 30-year-old thing, and there's also movies, and
at the
it's
same
such
time,
a small part.
You will enjoy the varied ride of Neon Genesis Evangelion anyway. So like,
oh yeah, like knowing that like Rei is kind of like a twisted copy of his mom, and you're like, oh, well, I mean, like, yeah, like you would think like that's such a big thing, but in Neon Genesis, there's so many underlying ones that it just leads you that it's like with Isekai, it's kind of okay to know some of these. I'm gonna get started before I lose my track.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
So the two that we had shared, I'm gonna try and just like edit.
Yeah.
So we had Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic.
Yep.
And we had Reborn as a Vending Machine.
Yeah.
I had to take on Tsukimichi Moonlight Fantasy. I had to watch Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody. I think it would be a lot easier just to know these things in Japanese. And then I had I'm Standing on a Million Lives. So within the ones that I watched, as Lewis said, I completed all of these. Now, you know me. You'll know that I'm someone that if I'm dedicated towards watching the anime, it will be completed. However long it definitely needs.
You can binge.
I can binge, and that sometimes you get tired, but I binge these, and like the ones I gave you, like I really remember like some of them. I binged that into the next, and I was just like constantly like happy, amazed, and excited to watch them. And these ones, it was literally a lot of it was a push. So I'll talk about I think we should go about I'll talk about the ones I had to watch.
Yeah.
You talk about the ones you had to watch,
and then we'll talk about our shared.
Yeah, I like that.
Go for it.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So let's start with Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy.
Which these got some heat titles, like just the names.
Oh yeah, we made a joke. We're like, dude, this could all be like Lana Del Rey songs or like an album.
Yeah,
you're like, no, I bet that goes hard. But yeah, so Moonlit Fantasy, they literally opened the show. Well, it's kind of spoilers, but it's like it doesn't matter. This is what we're talking about. They make fun of Truck-kun, like he literally like. There's literally just a truck that just like goes right past him, and you're like, "Oh, that's awesome!"
Oh, that was the moment, and it's like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, no, a whole different type moment goes in, and it turns out that like, the beings that are like watching over like this other like parallel type world, like they have beef with each other, and the one who's watching over the world that he enters in, she's like super beautiful, and she doesn't like him because like I think he just represents like an average Japanese boy. Like I think it's more like a commentary like by the author, which I do enjoy like when different authors do it, but it just felt like at different moments I'm like, I think you're hyping like way too much on this. Like they literally like say that like he looks a lot like a beast man, like put together. Like they just make fun of it. And like the overall tone of the show, like there's a lot of serious parts of it. There's a lot of like funniness into it. There's a story there, but it definitely gets to be way too much of a drag. Like the first season goes by and you're like, oh, I really like this. And there's a lot of shows like where you're like, dude, why does this only have 12, 13 episodes?
Oh, yeah.
Until you I'm just gonna say, until you get that show with like a 24 episode layout, do you?
And you're
do
like,
you really
this should have
understand?
been. You're like, this should have been 12.
That's exactly how I felt like watching it, and like, it was just, it's just a weird, interesting concept. Like I even like went and read some of like the light novel to get like my questions
you went
answered.
deep.
I'm
I
thorough.
respect it, brother.
I appreciate it, brother.
Respect it.
Yeah,
I
bro.
respect it, dog.
Like I made sure like I got some bases covered, but like yeah, nah, it was all right. Like it's pretty good overall. I said like during my research, you know, I said it was pretty good overall. And it's definitely when I wrote that I was unbiased because the more that I watch, I went further down my isekai trail.
Yeah.
I just got super pessimistic towards the end, like because I was just
You're
like
just burnt out.
I was super burnt out from the whole concept. Moonlight Fantasy, pretty good. Like would I say to watch it? Yeah. Would I put it above anything that I gave you? No. But it out of the ones that I had to watch,
Yeah.
that's my second.
Okay,
That's
so
my
that's
second favorite.
number 2.
Yeah. So one of the ones that we shared is my number one, and the other one is my least favorite.
Oh, I know which one. I know which
Yeah.
one's which.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because the one that I said is my number one could like if I had watched that pre
Yeah.
talking with you, I would have given that to you as a recommendation.
Yeah.
Like it's a good one, but let's continue. So Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody. I wrote this because it was a good taste. I had 2 disappointments before this one, so like I was super pessimistic. And what's really interesting about this one, it like I said, it has possibly the coolest opening to an isekai premise ever. The initial song is a banger. Like I even added that to my Spotify playlist
Nice.
because like the guitar chords.
That's always a good sign.
Oh yeah, it reminded me a lot of like the strumming that's in like season 1 of JJK, like when he's like on the train.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
That's like I think like Tatsuya made that one, but yeah, but there's like some like breaks in it that mirrored another little opening. So I'm like, okay, well the music is like we said a good sign. The first 10 minutes were the like some of like the best intro to like an isekai. They set like the world that he came from, like they set Japan in like a really good light. Like it was like they portrayed people cool. They show like why he doesn't like his life in a good way, because usually like some isekais it's just like I've always been a loner.
Oh
and
yeah.
they just never touch on it.
They're
again.
just like doing the sort of like shut-in trope of like, oh, I'm just a
I'm
Japanese
neat.
guy. I don't,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like I don't like to go outside and I don't do this and that and that. It's like,
I don't talk to women. You're like, all right.
yeah, it's like, all right,
Yeah.
you're just lame. Okay.
Yeah, you're just lame. And like, it's a cool concept. Like he literally kind of gets stuck in a video game that he made, and like, and he's like always working. He hates his life. This company like runs him dry.
Oh.
You're like, oh, well, this is kind of cool. And then the entire show is just like there's just nothing. It just drones on to the end, and like it kind of ends with like, oh well, maybe my life will be better and I'll find love and having a great adventure. I'm like, that is what the show is about. Like,
Yeah.
are you telling me that I wasted what like 4 hours watching this thing
Yeah.
for it to be like I could have watched the first episode, which is a banger, and then like the last 5 minutes of the last episode, except just miss how we got all these girls to be with him, and it would have been like, yeah, no, this is good.
She gets to the end, it's like not resolved. Maybe I can find it. It's like you've been in here.
Dude, yeah. I was like,
I get the ball rolling somehow.
and it copied like the fact of having kind of like the video game mechanic like we were talking about.
Yeah.
And it made me really appreciate ones like that. It might be repetitive or redundant, but they do it so well. Like Solo Leveling, for example, like that is like one of the better demonstrations of like how that should go. So yeah, Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody was decent. The start was good, but it was super meh. Let's see if I put anything other in there. Oh yeah, it was from 2018, and I think like
Okay.
the animation style between like, well, I think my favorite type of animation style and art like comes from like classic like 90s kinds of stuff, like those certain ones. I also like I think like early to like mid maybe even some late 2010s animation style.
Yeah.
Not with like the the Berserk like choppy CGI, but like
No.
just certain ones like where you're like, oh, this animation style is a banger. And I don't want to like misquote, but I think Katakawa did that one, and I love a lot of like Katakawa like anime. Like I feel like they're like a really good parent company. But yeah, that one was a letdown, and that was
Okay.
like when everything started kicking into me, where I'm like, where I told you like as soon as I came in here like earlier, like I was like, I really learned that there are a lot of like isekai out there that are bad, and it's not always that the premise is bad. It's like the writers are like, oh, I can easily make an isekai like if I change the fact of like, or if I solely focus on, hey, this one outlet, it'll be interesting and new enough that like I can pitch this, I can write this, it'll get a show.
There's just not enough to like make it real. It's like, oh, I've done enough to differentiate it enough. And it's like, all right, here's the one thing, but it's like, oh,
it's like
this just feels like
it's like coming up with like the best bread for a PB&J and then just using like Dollar General like peanut butter and jelly, like where it's like, rather, I'm not saying what was inside is always the bad, but like you put this amazing intro and amazing outro and paired it with nothing, like it's just like that would kind of like be reflective of what you had shown us in the beginning, to the point where it's like you only did this to like really just get your ball rolling. You didn't like kind of branch up. That brings me to my last one.
All right.
Last one before we talk about the ones that we shared.
Yeah.
I'm Standing on a Million Lives. You remember you were like, dude, that sounds so hard.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah. And
okay, wait. Where? So we know what your number 2 is. Where did Death March come in? Let down. I feel like
1. So I said 2.
4.
Yeah, that'll be 4.
4.
Yeah, that's 4. This one is 3. This one was it was one of those that has like, it had downsides, and like I felt a little disappointed, but like the makings and the bones of it were super. Like that's like the flip side of the argument that I have of like where it's like the inward of like the sandwich was like super great, but like the bread was just like, like cheap bread, or like one where it's just like, oh, like so for example, so they kind of like the MC of this isekai is kind of like a lot of the other ones. He kind of gives you like glimpses of like a light Yagami or like an Eren.
Oh, like a kind of manipulator kind of type.
Yeah, it's like he's not like the most manipulative, but like when it comes to like self-preservation, he had like his bar like high. And it's like, okay, well his twist and his like twisted outlook, even though like he'd also be like a cool dude, was good. And like his like the whole concept is like so there's like one initial girl who goes in just randomly, like you come into being in this isekai because someone recommends you.
Yeah.
So this girl got recommended by this mystery person you never meet. Then she brings in a friend, and then they both bring in this guy, and then you randomly get like a job assigned by like a spinning wheel, like how we do our topics.
Yeah.
He gets like a farming one or something, like a farmer.
Yeah, okay.
And so like they like after every quest, they're able to ask these future people who are the ones who like put them in this isekai like a question and learn. So like there is a lot of things that are intriguing, but it's a manga, and the company that they signed on with only agreed to do 2 seasons, and they ended it with an anime original ending.
Okay. Not the best.
It fell so flat, because the good parts of it that like make you want it, that inspired you to like finish and like stay with it, you stay with it to the point of like where it becomes the anime original arc, and it just falls on its face so badly. You're like,
you can tell this is not as good because it's not the person who wrote it.
Mm-hmm. Which I literally put like, because this was my last one that I watched, I was like glad to be done with this. I was like, I wish I would have rewatched. This is great. I wish I wouldn't have. I don't even know what I put. Like, Y'all got to
dude,
remember.
because
like,
you were burnt out.
I was so burnt out. I wasn't even speaking English. And mind you, like
you were at the point where you're like, you know, I don't want to say spoilers, but I feel like everyone knows. Spoiler warning. You're at like Gojo versus Sukuna. You've done reverse curse energy on your brain like 8 times.
oh yeah,
You've done like 9 different domain expansions, and you're like, I have brain damage now.
like Yuji could like flick me, and I'd be like, I'm done. Yeah, but yeah, no. So that was 3. Like overall, like I was saying, like because I had been so accustomed to bangers, like someone who's like a fan of things necessary, just everything that you are into in life, you definitely have to. And in this sense, like with the podcast, I was able to lean into like exposure, like extra exposure of being like, brother, what? You know, moments of where you're like, I don't know why I chose these ones for myself. I really should have watched something else. But yeah.
I mean, I think it's because I feel like this touches on another thing, and I'll go with the ones that I had to watch, my individuals. There was one thing that I noticed, and I was like, I just need to answer this question.
Yeah.
Why are the titles so long?
I feel like because like when they originally start, or like maybe we
like the light novel, like the title's long, but like you have like Kimetsu no Yaiba, Demon Slayer. It's really just simple and like snappy, or like Naruto's just Naruto. One Piece shows. So it's like there's a shift of where even now it's like Kagurabachi is just Kagurabachi.
Yes.
Or like there's a new manga that just came out. Gotta put you on it. Ichi the Witch. I don't even like witch stuff. You know how I feel about witches.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Not my thing. It's good. It's really good because it's like not what you think, and I'm like, wow, I'm gonna read this. But like the title doesn't give you everything. But with these, it's such a long title, and I looked up why. It's so that they don't have to like make trailers and all this stuff for it. You get everything from the title immediately. That's how they market it. They try to make it as easy as possible for you to be like, oh, you know what this is about. Reborn as a vending machine, you know. This guy, Reborn as a vending machine. Watch it, figure it out. No trailer. I don't need to make anything more. So it's like a really interesting marketing tool of just like, no, you got all the information you needed about this show right now.
Dude, for the audio crowd, my jaw was like on the floor for like 2 minutes there. That makes a lot of sense. Like, I'm like,
yeah.
Oh. Yeah, it's like when you watch like One Piece, like
you're like,
like
what is nobody yeah. I mean, One Piece has been going on. We're not even talking about the manga.
I don't even want to get into this terrible
anime. Okay, the anime is as old as me, so it's 25 years old. Started like 2 months before I was born.
Brother.
Yeah.
It covers like
they're remaking it.
I know. I know.
You'll get to watch the One Piece. So hey, think about that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But
like it's been how long, and we don't know what the One Piece is.
Yeah.
The One Piece is just a treasure. I don't know like what it physically, and so it's. I guess it makes it a lot more snappy. Of like
One Piece. Yeah. But with these, it's like that makes sense.
Yeah, but I'll go into mine.
Yeah.
Again, you gave me absolute heat.
I appreciate that.
I'm gonna go. Let me look. Let me look at I put a little different notes. So I'm gonna go up. So I'm gonna start with my number 4. Number 4 is Konosuba. Because I was like, okay, it's the parody. Yeah. I remembered that I actually watched some of this in college with my friend and roommate in college, Kyle.
Yeah.
Because we'd go back every Friday, we would sit down and put each other on something. Like he showed me Your Name and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'll forever thank him for that. Even though I remember I was like, we're 2 college freshmen in a dark dorm room. At least I'm crying. This doesn't feel like how I want to spend my freshman year.
Everyone else is like drinking.
But it was so great. So Konosuba, it's just parody. It's fun, but like I don't think I got far enough for it to be like more than just like the funny elements of it. I don't know if it really gets more than just the funny elements of it.
The story, like,
but it's It's
Yeah.
funny. It's
Yeah.
really funny.
Yeah.
Darkness gets a little bit annoying sometimes, where it's just like it's the same thing.
Yeah.
By far the funniest character, besides why I'm forgetting the main character's name,
Kazuya.
Kazuya,
Yeah.
is Megaman, because
Yeah.
it's just funny how the stubbornness of like, no, I'm only gonna do the one thing.
Yes.
It's all I'm gonna do, and it will make me useless.
Yeah, she just instantly passes
The
out.
complete stubbornness of like, that's all I'm gonna do.
You're like, okay, yeah.
And it's like, hey, if you did anything else, you'd actually be useful. So that was my number 4.
Yes.
It was still fun, enjoyable. Now again, my top 3. 1 is clearly 1, but 2 and 3 were hard, so they could kind of switch.
Oh, okay.
Number 3 was Mushoku Tensei,
Yes.
Jobless Reincarnation.
Okay. Yeah.
I started watching that, and like, I really enjoy. You saw as I start adding notes
Yeah.
and things. So like, as time goes along, it's like, okay, a little bit changes where it's like, it's a little bit weird. If you know, I'm making some faces right now where it's like, okay,
Yeah.
all right. Like for me, I watched about half of like the first season of everything. The moment I knew I liked something,
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm gonna put this on pause.
Yeah.
Because I'm just gonna come back and watch it because I actually like it now.
And I like our counter culture. That's like finding our research. Like, I think that's a great perspective, because if we both like were me after doing research, I feel like every episode would be hard, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like we're gonna be like, all right, dude, I don't even really care. Like, battle rap, it's fine.
Yeah, because like at certain points, like I just actually like this and I just want to watch. So I'm like, I appreciate this now.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
So Mushoku Tensei was one of those where it's like, I really appreciate this. I think the biggest thing, I feel like this could be a little bit of a hot take. I think that's some of the best animation that I've ever seen for a show. It's like sleeper good.
Yeah, it's kind of like cell shaded, like Borderlands type of game.
It's just,
You're like, oh wow,
it's
this is
just
actually
like
good.
slightly thicker outlines that make the world feel like so real.
It's easy on your eyes too.
Yeah, like just even like the tones of like that they're using for like the stone bricks when they're at like the cat, like the Gray Rat Manor, where it's like, wow, this just looks so real.
Oh yeah,
This looks like a movie.
it makes like the fireball and the water balls like look like really well, because it's like, we didn't,
dude, whenever he does Cumulonimbus, I'm like, what, look at that. Yeah,
dude, yeah.
And I think this is also the other funny thing. So, you know, I like watching Sakuga cuts. I like shout out to the channels Hip Hop Sakuga and Sakuga Hobbs. There's tons of other ones. They're all great. But like Hip Hop Sakuga and Sakuga Hobbs, they used to have the best music that they put to it. I remember for like sword fighting or like just action, there's always this one scene, and then I remembered seeing it, I was like, oh, it's from this.
Was it from?
It's from Mushoku Tensei. It's like when Eris is like charging with the sword like the first time that they do the training, and it's like that good just like POV shot where she's just like it's like, oh no, she's training with Ghislaine.
Okay, yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's where that's from.
Yeah.
I was like, I recognize this. It's like, this is good animation.
I have a quick hot take.
Yeah.
Hot take, Ghislaine is just a more rowdy version of Yoruichi.
Yeah. Okay, let me go on some things that.
Yeah. I think I'm on your parallel.
It's not like it's necessarily fan service. It's just kind of like weird, awkward sexual tension. Like there's sometimes there's a weird disconnect that's like, oh, he's like 10, but also like 40. And then you're like, dude, that's your cousin.
Yeah, but like the beasts
it's
are like 8 years old.
Yeah, it's like, whoa.
And no, but the 8-year-old looks like a 30-year-old.
Yeah,
like, this doesn't.
And then there's sometimes where like it gets into it and you're just like, they play it off in like a very where it's like, okay, that actually seems like kind of realistic. Like when he's at the manor and then he walks on like grandpa and then he's just like, that's one of the maids and you're like, whoa. And it's like, although that feels normal for like a weird king guy to do. Yeah. Like that, and they don't really touch on it anymore. It's not really like a thing. It's just there. Like, okay. But then the times where it's like, it's weird because it's not like it's played up for like, yeah, you should be enjoying this. It's just like there, and I kind of just wish it wasn't.
Wait till he gets this season 1 ending.
Yeah, I'm just like, I just wish it wasn't sometimes. I'm like, this is
Huh?
Like episode 8,
Yeah.
dude. Episode 8, the aftermath of his 10th birthday party. I was like, I wish I didn't have to watch that. I really didn't want to. Then it got good because then they got transported to another world, and I was like, oh, this is cool.
No,
and
but
they meet the
they're in a different plane. They're not even in a different world, which is crazy too.
like I forget his name. It's like Rougeard because he's one of the super people.
Yeah.
I like him.
Rougeard.
He's cool.
Yeah.
He's so cool.
He's like
I just like how he just is just like things are what they are.
Yeah. He's a stoic at heart.
I just like him.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, oh, I'm back. I was like, it was weird for like
a little bit.
12 minutes.
Yeah. No,
it was 12 minutes. I didn't know how I was feeling. I was like, oh, I might have to drop this.
Yeah, that's the thing with like the redeeming part of, because there would be a lot of times where I'm watching it, I'm like kind of like, I don't know, like if I watch something and like it doesn't like register with me, like I usually have to like process things for like hours, and like in the time of like watching Mushoku, like there's literally something I'm like waiting for you to see, like I told you about, like if you know, you know, like where he's in a city and he runs into someone, and it's like it's nothing big, but when you think about like your own life experiences, or you think about like how that could be a possibility in real life, like that I still like think about that moment, like whenever I think about that show, and I'm like,
dude, you got me teased now. I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, but
who's he gonna run into?
It's nothing like super crazy, but it's like one of those things that's like what really kept me going with the show, is like there are a lot of moments like where you're like, oh, this is super relatable.
It's
like
one of the kids he beat up that first time when they were bullying the fucking Sylphie. That's what it is.
Nope.
No, I know it's not. I'm just joking.
No, but
it wouldn't be that.
Like there's a character in season 2 like that. I remember when this episode got released like earlier this year. Like there were so many posts talking about like how well they did with like demonstrating depression and like really grieving like your like purpose in life, and like this character shows that. So like that's something in Mushoku that like really I feel like keeps you around, is like the fact of like there's just like they, with all like the weird parts of it, they just capture like emotions so well.
Yeah, it's the thing of like it's weird, but there's just so many different things where you can tell that like whoever wrote this and the people working on this really care.
Yeah, dude,
a lot.
And
you're like, oh, and so it's like, okay, the weird stuff happens, but it's never like, I mean, he's kind of a pervy MC.
Oh,
like,
for sure, yeah,
he is.
Yeah.
It's just like not all the time. At least it's like, all right, well, he's like 40-10.
Yeah, at least he's not like super aggressive.
So you know? He can't like really do anything about it. So it's like, all right, at least this isn't like bad, you know, yet. Yeah. Who knows if it gets there. But that came in at my number 3.
Yep.
Number 2 was Shield Hero. The Rising of Shield Hero.
It's one of the best opening songs ever.
Dude, it's such a good opening. But then also like it just goes through it more, and I think it's building up more and more of like the mystery element of like what's actually going on.
Yeah.
And the fact that his reaction to getting shafted so hard, I'm like, here's the thing, I've never experienced anything like that. I've never been that bitter in my life, but like the way that they kind of handle that is like,
because he was so nice and happy, and like,
they just look, and again, it's like we still don't know. Anytime they're like the Shield, it's like, man, this guy sucks, we're gonna screw him over. It's like, why? He didn't get to pick that.
Yeah.
Why are you? But he's the only guy who's doing like nice stuff for people. Like it gets to the part where they're in the village, and then the spear hero's like, yeah, I gave these guys crops. It's like, no, they took over the town. They have an invasive species now because you don't read.
Oh yeah, with the tree and all that. Yeah.
But at the same time, how he's still like, you can tell it's kind of an act, but like it's the sort of thing where it's like, oh, he's like, I want money. That's all I want right now. So he's kind of keeping still the consistent thing. So he feels like a very well realized character.
Yeah.
And then even with like Raphaelia, she's good. She's fun. You know, when it gets to like late, it is like weird how it's like girl, and then immediately like, oh, she's a woman now, I guess. Yeah. They age faster. I like how he doesn't see that. Yeah. Because then the thing isn't weird. Like there's been no like weird fan service about it. because he's like, you're a child to me. I know.
Just keep watching too, though.
Yeah, but she's like, oh yeah, I like him, and he's like, oh, like he's not even paying attention to that. I'm like, I like that.
He doesn't for a long time.
Yeah, it's like I'm cool with that. I don't need that because like their relationship seems more like a father-daughter.
Yeah,
like at least that, and then the bird comes in, then Philo shows up.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, it was weird. But
Yeah.
then after a while, I was like, all right, she's kind of funny.
Yeah, she's helpful too.
She's really helpful and kind of funny because watching a giant bird kick things is kind of hilarious.
And how they beef with the dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just being like, oh yeah, nah, I just like get swallowed by a zombie dragon. It's like, no, I was actually just eating its intestines in there. I was trying to get out. It's like what?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
For real.
So yeah, I'm excited to see where more of that leads. But
that's 2 you said?
Yeah, that's 2.
Oh, I'm glad your 1 is
number 1 was ReZero.
I'm so glad.
It is so good.
Dude, yeah.
I'd seen like, people just post about it all the time because like it's incredibly popular.
Yeah.
I just like saw it, I was like, oh, it's an isekai. Everyone's posting it. Everyone's always posting like what Ram and Ram all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I don't watch. There's probably some weird stuff going on here. And you watch and you're like, oh, this is just really good and people are just weird.
Oh, dude, yeah, the whole
it's like really,
community is like...
It's like, at least up to the point that I've got, like, the community is a little bit weird.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe that's like kind of how I'm like, wow,
It's the My Hero effect.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, is this how people who didn't watch My Hero felt? Because like, I got on My Hero like ground floor.
Yes, yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is how they feel. Because this is actually really good.
Yeah, that's exactly the effect. Oh, wait. I got a question.
Yeah.
Wrong way to use healing magic. Is that after Konosuba?
Yes.
Honestly, I agree. Like, I wouldn't say that it's bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just
out of these. Also, the story too.
It's good.
Yes.
It's good. It's just like not in the bad way that people use it. Mid. It's like so just like cookie cutter to a degree.
Yes.
There's interesting elements to it. And I like how they use it. It's just like...
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. The top 5, there's a big gap between 5 and 6.
No, I get that.
There's a big drop off between 5 and 6. I'll tell you that. 6 is in the Grand Canyon, brother.
Like, if I had your list, like, I think the way that you listed it and the way that I listed it, of like different ones being interchangeable, but like what takes one and how, like if I had your list, I would put Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic at 5, and then all the other ones I listed, and then 6 would be the one that we're going to talk about. But like, I totally understand. So like when people hear this, like
it's not that it's bad at all.
It's just like he got so many bangers.
So he gave me heat.
I gave him like the absolute
he gave me absolute peak.
And the Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic is like the water that you drink in between your meals. You know what I'm saying? Like it's good, but it's not
good.
Like
it's refreshing, but it's like, man,
like, bro, I got some curry to get into. Like, what are you talking about?
It's like, oh man, I'm trying to think of like a really good analogy.
Yeah.
I can't think of one. I can't think of one.
You know what? It's kind of like mint chocolate ice cream of like desserts, like where you're like, you know what, this will hit on like certain times, but it's not the best.
Yeah, you're like, this is always gonna be. No, you know what? It's good vanilla chocolate ice cream. That's what it is. It's like really kind of standard.
Yeah,
but it's really good.
I get.
But then you get into like I'm an ice cream fiend. You know, I like my ice cream.
Yeah.
Mads likes to clown me about it. She says it's my favorite food. It's not. It's ribs. But
fair.
But like Ben & Jerry's milk and cookies, that's like peak for me. It's so good. It has the perfect amount of salt. That's what makes things better.
Oh
salt.
Yeah. Himalayan salt and some ice cream goes so hard.
So good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But like that would be like ReZero, where it's like that's peak.
No, I get
right
that.
There. That's the best. But ReZero, great. I enjoyed the mystery elements. I like how stuff is just unraveling slowly, and it's like every time the cycle kind of happens, you're just getting more and more in all these pieces. And the way that they're able to write the character, well, just write all the characters, because there's half that don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And he knows what's going on, but he can't like I don't know. It just all fits very well. Where I'm like, this makes a lot of sense, and I'm interested to see where everything's going. The character designs are great. That's where I was like, oh, where I feel like it has the like My Hero effect. It's a really good character designs, and then people get weird about it.
People just get super weird. Like they're just like, amid.
Yeah, it's like, please stop,
on, bro.
Please stop. Go touch grass,
dude. Yeah, like if here's my thing. Like I literally had this thought of being like, okay, well, what if like someone were to say like Zac? Like I thought about this as a question.
Yeah.
We can get into it. If you're like Zac, like what if you had to be in like a harem anime? Who would it be? And literally like all of mine, like I was like, all of these are like super age appropriate because in real life they'd be like older than me or like my exact same age. But the thing that I'm saying is like a lot of anime fans, they go for like 14, 15, 16-year-old characters. And you're like,
yeah, it's just like,
why don't simp for this little girl, man? Like that's a little Dr. Disrespect.
It's just
right?
getting, it's Drake. Drake. No. It's just getting weird, I got my stickers on here, but like I've had this laptop I've had since freshman year.
Yeah, they were aged with you now.
That's why it's so busted. That's why it literally has a chip all the way down here.
I've never even noticed that, dude.
I had a better one, then my ex broke it. We won't talk about that, but yeah, that's why it's like Space Dandy. I love Dandy, but like you got Asuka because like I watched Neon Genesis Evangelion. I was like 15.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh yeah, it's a favorite character for sure.
Well, also I feel like their damage, like,
and then that show psychologically messed me because when I watched the end of Evangelion, I was like.
Well, when you watch Rebirth and you figure out like they have to always stay that age, it's like
yeah.
If we're going off of Rebirth, it's like
I get it.
She's like 30.
At the same time, it's like I'm not like I'm not similar. Over. It's like I've fondness for that. Back then I'm like that was cool.
Oh yeah.
Asuka the goat, but like also at this point too, it's like I have girlfriend. I have the person who I truly simp over.
Yeah.
So it's like it just feels weird. But like ReZero,
yes,
really good. People just get weird about it. So it's like it's got that My Hero effect, and I'm like, oh
yeah.
Yeah, the characters. I love the character design so much. It's really like Subaru's character design is great. I love his tracksuit.
Yeah. Dude, the classic.
Also, I just love how like weird he looks, but like Rosewall is so funny to me.
Yeah.
I just love how he's like just a weird clown, man.
Yeah,
but like,
dude.
Now there's some to where I stopped. There's some weird stuff going, and obviously like Reverend, they have good designs. Like they're good contrasting designs. Yeah. Amelia, good design. Beatrice, S tier design.
S tier, bro. Beatrice.
The forehead is hilarious.
Yeah,
it's massive. Why am I forgetting the cat's name? The cat's the best character.
Yeah. I'm blanking because I literally now watched it like a year.
Because the only thing I remember now is that Beatrice always calls it Bubby. And it's not Bubby. But like, cat's the best.
I love how she always responds to things.
Yeah. The cat's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But yeah, I love it. It was great. I'm gonna keep watching it. I want to see where this goes. I like how they just tease all these like small things where it's like, oh, what's going on? Like the son of the witch. Oh, saddle up. What? She called herself that the first time, but then she got mad. What's going on here?
What?
And then you describe that it looks like her.
Amelia. Yeah. Well, there's also a movie that like they have
what's going on here
that goes into Amelia. Like after like the 3 seasons, there's a movie that kind of like explains something as well about it. Let me check some real quick.
Oh yeah.
Make sure now we're out chilling.
But
there's yeah, let's get into
let's get in our shared though.
Yeah, so I think we covered wrong way to use healing magic good. I have added like Rose as to like my sixth choice. If you're like Zac, we know
we know what you like.
Yeah, list your waifus. Like
we know what you
Rose
like.
is 6, but
I mean,
yeah,
Rose is hilarious.
Yeah.
I think I like the archetype of like just
mean women.
No, not that.
For me,
It's because it's like the same thing you get from like Yami from like Black Clover.
okay, yeah,
It's just terrifying mentor.
yeah,
It's just like terrifying mentor, but like you know that they care, but like
yeah.
it's the like terrifying
It's like Tsunadere.
to a degree of like it's not even that. It's just like I don't want to be around them because they're a danger to like my health and well being because they're insane.
Yes.
It's funny because it's always seeing just people being like, why are you like this?
And then when you find out, you're like,
Oh, all right, that makes sense.
hey, like I kind of agree. Yeah. It's like, oh, I understand why people are like, I understand like why Asuka was just the way that she was, like making a lot of Neo Genesis things, but yeah. So let's because we got like a lot of like we got some more fun segments and questions, but we gotta address it.
We are the appreciation podcast.
I cannot appreciate Reborn.
Oh, okay. I can appreciate one aspect about it. Somebody tried to make that. They tried to make it. They just did not do a good job.
Yeah,
it's not good.
I watched it to the entirety, and like where there'd be parts wholesome, there'd be a random uppercut of fan service where you're like, okay, and really you didn't need to watch any part of it. You could like it's one of those also like where you can watch the first episode and the last episode. It'd be like, cool, I understand that.
I again for me, and you realize that this is like episode 3.
Yeah,
I like could not get past. I was like, dude, they beat a giant frog with Coke and Mentos.
Yeah,
like it doesn't even do like it doesn't even look like it does damage. They just shot them at it. I was like, bro, it's a giant frog. It ain't gonna hurt that much.
Bro, you didn't even see where he lured away. This is real. He didn't see where he lured away people with a porn magazine vending machine. You didn't see. Well, this one was kind of like helpful, but it's also kind of like a weird fan service. You didn't see where it became like a pad and like tampon like distribution, like where you're like, okay, that's smart, but like that came out of the blue.
Weird.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if it's like a thing of like now I just gotta be like, Japan, this is kind of weird. Like
it became a toilet too.
You got some weird.
I love how they just like destroy what you're saying.
It's not a vending machine.
Yeah, you're like no, but
I'm sorry, you're breaking the conventions.
No, bro, they literally added a 3-minute segment to this episode, like where they're like, yeah, so it's not really known, but in Japan during this area, in this time frame.
No, not doing it. Not doing it. Nope. I love you, brother. You don't have to go on further. I'm gonna say like that's.
I was like, I don't need to watch this, dude.
No.
What am I doing, Rupert?
Rupert's got.
Yeah, he's like, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. I know, buddy.
Man.
Thank you, buddy.
I know. That's
Yeah, I agree with you on appreciation. Overall, with the Isekai, I think like looking at it as the perspective of like me watching it, but also knowing what you were watching, knowing like how we're going to talk about it. I definitely appreciate it. You know, I think I've grown a deeper sense of appreciation. Admiration and appreciation are a little bit different in this case. I did not admire a lot of the things that I had to watch.
Yeah. But
I can appreciate the overall Isekai because it fits more than just what I watched. And I admire like good Isekai a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my
I was like, I'm glad we could stay to where we only are trashing on vending machine for that. I'll also add another thing. So in between, because it's been another thing I've been working on. And I think this helped with it too.
Yeah.
You know, since it's like I'm just working.
Yeah.
Oh, he's getting up on here. Getting up on here.
Oh my.
He's not gonna make it all the way up on here. He might try, but I'm trying to be more intentional with my time.
I get that
because so like
you're also a busy dude. Yeah,
I mean, I have like my job, but like I want to come home and then like actually do things and not just stuck in my Instagram death spiral. Because if you know me, I'll send like 50 memes on like a night. I'll just spam people with memes. It's like my favorite thing to do. It's really fun.
Yeah,
for me because I have an unhinged algorithm.
I enjoy them.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. You know, I get enjoyment out of that, but like I want to be more intentional. So I think one, having to plug down and be like, I'm watching these shows.
Yeah, we got research to do.
I've got to watch them,
Yeah.
and then it's like, okay, I'm being intentional watching that. Then it's like, you know what? I want to just come home and put on like 9 Guga Foods music like videos where it's like I'm just watching him cook different steaks that I can't cook because I don't have a grill and I don't eat steak like that.
Yeah.
It's like, nah. You know what? I'm gonna watch something. So I think me and Mads, we were like, we're gonna watch a movie. It was either Spirited Away or Howl's Moving Castle. I'm a Howl's Moving Castle guy. I love that. It's my favorite, especially the dub because Christian Bale.
Yes.
Hearing Batman say, I'm not beautiful anymore, I don't want to live is hilarious. Like it's just a highlight. And Billy Crystal is the Calcifer. I love it.
Did you like Ponyo?
Yes.
Quick? Yeah, me too. That's my second studio.
I really want to watch The Boy in Heron next. Because that just came out.
Yeah.
But we watched Spirited Away, and it was so I think like for my taste in anime, you know, I'm wearing, for people who can't see the audio crowd, I'm wearing my Jujutsu Kaisen shirt, you know, got no bar on it. The goat. But I'm so used to just watching like the shonen stuff where it's like a lot of action. It's really heavy on that you kind of, even though like it's there in like One Piece and stuff, you're missing the element of like whimsical stuff. Yeah. I think this, like Isekai and being in all these different worlds and having to be like, oh, and then watching Spirit Away and just seeing that's not really about the action, it's just about what's going on, where it's like, oh,
yeah,
I'm appreciating whimsy again. Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah, because people love to make like the meme about like Slice of Life, for example. They're like, what do you like the grocery arc? But it's like,
okay,
I'm tired of like the thing with shoujo too. It's like, dude, you could easily throw that back. Like, oh, did he like defeated someone who he wasn't supposed to defeat?
We're putting Slice of Life on the list, not even because I just need you to watch Kids on the Slope.
Okay, I was about to say, I watch a lot of Slice.
I need to watch Kids on the Slope.
Kids on the Slope.
As a little thing. Well,
buddy,
you know,
sorry.
if someone ever asks or if ever goes into it, out of my top 5 all time, it's number 2.
Dude.
It's like, I love Kids on the Slope.
All right. I like that.
I'll save number 1 for another day. If you know me, then you know what it is. But like it's so good. So it just made me appreciate like just being intentional and watching all these different things. It just made me appreciate like, oh, whimsical elements again. It's like, oh man. So now I'm excited to go back to One Piece and be like, oh man, look at the crazy world that they're running around in. Look at the 85 trillion different races.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
You getting them.
You
getting them. But you prepared some questions.
Oh yeah, no, I got some.
I want to see what you were cooking.
Yeah, but they're not too crazy, but like we are towards the end of our episode. This is probably this is our second one. But I love this episode. This one's fun. Okay, so this is like a 2-part. We could do explanation, but I kind of want it to be a little bit more. I'm gonna try to
answer as snap as like possible.
Okay, if you had to be isekai into one of the animes that you watched, one of the assigned ones, which would you? You could have powers too.
I could have powers
into this one. Yeah, you might not be MC, but
no. Here's the thing. I think with all of them, I'll probably go with Mushoku Tensei.
That is a super, super, super good answer because like there isn't like a crazy thing. Like it's all about you just learning.
Yeah. It's like there's a lot of like learning and like upside, and it seems like a pretty. If you wanted to, you could just have a pretty chill life.
Yeah, you really could. You could just be a farmer. It's not
gonna get crazy.
Oh yeah. That's fire.
Like ReZero, there's too many There's the Bowel Hunter running around.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry, she does what?
Yes, dude. Yeah.
And the Shield Hero, it's like, if I'm not one of them,
you're dead. Yeah.
Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm just a guy. So like, I'm good.
No, I totally understand that. All right. The wrong way of healing magic would be terrible too. Like imagine you're like one of like the fighter dudes and like you just go there and immediately just start getting slain by the opposition.
Yeah, like nah.
Okay, if you had to be isekai into any anime in general, like it can be
Okay.
shoujo, like where would you be, and kind of like a rough estimate of like what would you do. You could even bring into like facts of like, oh, I want, let's say that Mads liked Hokkaido gals, and you're like, oh, I want to go to Hokkaido gals, so me and Mads can be there together. That kind of thing.
Okay,
You can take it whatever extent you're thinking.
Oh, if it were like that, and I could take a person, then it'd be like me and Mads were going to Kids on the Slope because I'd love to live in 1960s Japan. But if it's just me and I'm like going somewhere,
yeah,
and I'm like, oh, I want an adventure, I want to like do some stuff. Oh, I gotta think. It's not confirmed I'd be like a goat. Ooh, this is hard. I'm trying to think of everything. Not One Piece, not Attack on Titan, not Demon Slayer, not Naruto.
No.
Oh, I'm trying to think. Oh, come on.
You want me to give you one, or give you like I had two answers,
Okay.
and they're both funny. One is because for the bro, you know what, bro? I'll become your white blood cell, like cells at work, and just defeat everything for you.
You said, yeah, no, dude, Isekai me and my boy.
I'm going to protect
Isekai me and my boy's bloodstream. Immunities, bro. Antibodies, bro.
Dude, I'm going to be over there like, what? Yeah, but, and my other one is also a funny thing. I will go into Neon Genesis just for Misato. I'll take a shot, and then I'll be like, I'm good.
That's like one of the worst choices.
That's why I gave you the first one as the first.
Like one of the worst choices. You really want to go through human instrumentality?
Well, I'll be too old. I'm saying I'd be like Kaji.
Oh, you just be like, oh, I'm done. Like, hey, I did my thing. I'm growing my watermelons. I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. And just like chill with like Masato.
I could see you growing some watermelons and be like, I'm just a dude.
I'm just posted over here like,
oh, dude, we just need to get you the mullet and you'll be Kaji.
Dude, yeah, that would be crazy work.
Dude, you're kind of like, you already got the chill vibe. You just need the mullet.
Yeah. But has that helped you deliberate on your...
I'm still like trying to think of like everything I've seen. Oh my goodness. Oh. Because I'm like looking at like my nerd corner. I'm like, I can't go to Gundam.
No.
I can't go to Gundam because like, I just got to look at my anime list real quick.
You're good. I'll answer the first one for myself.
Yeah.
If I had to be isekai into one of the anime I watch, what would I be watching?
Vending machine.
No. All right, so I watched Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic. I watched Standing on a Million. Honestly, I would probably say Standing on a Million Lives because like there's eventually a point of ending to that, but I also like the concept of like, oh hey, after you level up, you can get a different job. You like as long as one of you is alive, then everyone else will like respawn after a certain amount of time if you die. I think that's cool. That's
I just realized what it is. Oh, why did I not think of this?
Yeah.
Okay. With Isekai, do I get power because I'm getting Isekai?
Yes. Literally, yeah. That's why I was like, you can like go in here and
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4.
There you go.
I'll be a Morio.
There you go.
I'm totally down with that.
It's perfect.
Just Kira.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like
JoJo's Part 4.
There you go. All right.
For sure.
If you were to create your own isekai, what would be the most ridiculous or unexpected twist you'd include? So like, take like ReZero as a great example. Like, what's like your main hook of being like, oh, da 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 da.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Do you have an answer? Because I'm trying to think of like, we're just going through like the different types that there are.
Yeah. Well, you could also create like your own like general understanding. I would say like, I have always thought about like, I think it would be really cool to see an isekai like where, you have like, okay, this setting and this setting. So you have A and B. When you go to sleep in A, you wake up in B. When you go to sleep in B, you wake up in A.
Okay, so
it's like you literally live your dream.
Okay, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, and if something happens to you in B, something would happen to you in A, that kind of thing.
I would do it like this. Isekai, but like trying to look at a different like it's not the Portal Quest type, it's the I think intrusive. It's coming into the real world.
Okay, yeah,
I
kind
feel
of
like
leveling. Yeah.
Like how so, but I don't know because I still need to watch Soul Leveling.
You're good. Yeah.
something comes into the world. And I feel like this is kind of on the concept of solo leveling because I feel like everyone's trying to like fight whatever these things are. But something comes into like a real world from. Now this sounds like another thing that I know that I've heard of, which is recreators. Something comes into this world from a fictional world. If you beat it, you get its powers in the real world.
Oh, yeah.
And so now it's just a mad dash of like.
Yeah, I think like where you could put like your own classic isekai like creator spin on it is just like slightly tweak like what like the power like scale would be, and it'd be like, yeah, no, that's like your own original
somebody
thing.
could make so much money if they did Fortnite Isekai.
Like a battle royale.
Dude,
isekai.
you're just dropping in.
Dude, yeah. Just like you go to like the butt. No,
you get hit by the battle bus.
Truck-kun.
I don't even play Fortnite.
Yeah,
I played it once.
No,
I'm kind of here for it. Got
No,
put on for North Carolina stuff, man.
No, there we go. Epic. Only like 20 minutes away. Well, no, even less.
Like down the street.
Yeah, we could literally walk to Fortnite right now. Yeah.
You're like, hey, put us in the game.
Dude, that would be great. I would, but okay. Fun. We already kind of covered that question. If you could have any one power from an isekai anime in this world, what would it be? We could say out of like all the isekai you watch, because if we limit it to everything that we watch, I'm gonna be super upset.
Yeah.
I'll say I would be Shield Hero because I like the fact that like as like he kind of like grows or he can put like different resources, you get different things,
different stuff.
That'd
like
be
it's
so
a lot of utility there.
Yeah,
I definitely would not want to have, I wouldn't want to have super power.
No, dude,
I don't want to die and then come back.
Super pressed. Yeah.
No, that would suck.
That would suck.
From any isekai.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't like it, but can I just be the goat like Kirito?
Yeah.
Just be like, yeah, I just win.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you could be Kirito.
I just get his jacket.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I win.
You just summon like the swords randomly dead.
Yep.
That's the thing with like Sword Art Online. It's like as much as like there could be like a good story, like the plot armor is super like this kid is going to win and he's just the best regardless. And it's like, all right, bro, I just need to put this.
Yeah, you're looking at it like, dude, this is just power fantasy. Like this is what a Mary Sue is.
Dude, yeah.
It's like you just wrote yourself.
Sword Art Online is like super American coded without being American coded. Like it's just like this dude's gonna get whatever he wants and just be unstoppable.
I mean, here's what I'll say: this is like, is it American coded or is that just people coded?
You're right. I think it's an ego coded thing.
People coded. It's like, yeah, I'm the best and I get everything I want. I think that's just everyone.
Yeah, I think we just attach too much.
Now, is it
like
definitely bigger in America? For sure.
Yeah.
We're the West, man. We got massive egos over here, but like,
dude, yeah. All right. Like, you want to? Is there anything else you had, or
no?
You want to ask?
I guess go because here's the thing. I was wondering if you stole the same, if you had the same question that I had, not stole because I didn't say.
Yeah.
And you already did, which was like, if you get used to. Where I was like, all right, he beat me to it.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a good question, a common question to ask.
Looking at where you were when you started, we don't have to edit in a little graph of like, we were talking before where it's like, all right, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I can appreciate it. I can, you know what? I appreciate what it's doing. I don't necessarily like it. And then it's like, nah, I like it now.
In the scope of like,
where I know you started more of like, I like it.
Yeah.
Where are you falling now? Or are you still like, I like it?
I think I still like it because it's one of those things where it's like, Your Lie in April. Like if I based all of like, like slice of life or like casual animes based off of like the depression and Your Lie in April, like it's really unfair. So it's like, did I run into like a lot of like disappointment? Yeah, but that's just kind of part of the journey.
Yeah,
right? Like
you
it's
still
like,
know what the good stuff that's in there.
And I grew a bigger appreciation for the ones that I put you on because I watched ones that were struggle zones.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I think I'm still relatively here. But am I ready for another isekai to come out? No.
I mean, there's too many.
There is way too many, dude. I will be
many.
glad to see like ReZero is coming out at the end of this year, so I'll definitely rewatch ReZero within like a couple weeks. I'll probably like rewatch it. So like when it comes out, you'll be caught up, and I'll be like rewatch it. So I'll be like, all right, bet
something new to watch.
Yeah.
But nah, I definitely started like, I don't like this.
Yeah, you're like on like this end of the spectrum.
Like, man, I'm gonna watch the story online.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you. Not for your boy.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, you know what? I like this.
Yeah.
There's good stuff in it. I need to not be as quick to just judge a whole genre. Like, there's good stuff in it. I feel like that's just like what, as we go through more and more things, I feel like that's what it is, where it's like, oh,
cool.
There's cool stuff in this. I don't like all of it.
Yeah.
But there's cool stuff in this, and I'm going to appreciate those cool things.
Yeah.
And then be like, hey, it's not all bad.
Exactly.
You can find some heat in there.
You can find some heat in there.
But I think it's time for the wheel.
It's time for the wheel. Are you screen recording?
Let me go ahead and get this up. I remember.
Let me pull out our
that's
the object of our bidding.
Yep.
Let me just take my idea real quick.
Oh, you got the. You want to put a dime, or you want to put a dollar on it, or you want to put a quarter?
We're keeping this dime.
We're keeping the dime.
Yeah, and if I don't know, if I win again, then I don't even care. Crisp handshake. The crisp handshake.
No, I'll just give you another dime.
I'm gonna be chilling with like
double or nothing.
All right, yeah, double or nothing.
Double or nothing.
If you win, I'll just.
Dude, I forgot how. I was like, what's the hot command?
Oh, yeah.
Screen record. That's why I'm tech illiterate, man.
That's cool.
But let's run through what we got on here. All right. So we got Opium Fashion. We're still gonna, do that. Get us a little bit of Playboy Cardi going on.
Yeah.
Got some Opium Fashion. You got Victorian era media, so like some Bridgerton and stuff. I was talking to my brother. He actually really likes Bridgerton. And
really?
I'm like, yeah. Him and his wife, my sister-in-law, they enjoy it. I'm like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Tubi movies. I really want Tubi movies. That's my vote. Country music. I gotta take Isekai Anime off.
Yes, sir.
We're done with that. TikTok, which as time goes along, the TikTok page. We posting up some clips, some funny stuff.
Mm-hmm. Maybe even just TikTok only, Instagram only type of like
exactly. We're building the brand. The Joker movies, which the second one just came out.
Oh, it did. I hope we kind of get that.
Yeah, abstract art.
Yeah.
Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. If we get Hello Kitty, I'm gonna have to like call some people.
Yeah.
And be like, what is about this?
What is about
this? Still for the bit, current Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, well now
it'll be like, the end of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, dude.
We got
current state of my depression.
Shoujo manga and anime.
Yeah.
Then we got Brat Summer, but I put Brat Autumn now, so we're in Broadham.
Even
Gotcha games.
Yeah. Which I recently just started playing.
Classical music.
Nice.
Got EDM.
Yes.
AI. Oh no.
Is your battery?
Yeah, give me 1 sec. Oh no.
Are you still screen recording?
Yeah.
Here, I'll read it off if you want to get your charger real quick.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Think there's current Kanye on there?
Yes, we got AI,
Ooh.
current Kanye, pro wrestling, nice reality TV.
Oh, pro wrestling's gonna be great.
Yeah, that'd be great. We got Drake in there.
Drake.
Yeah. Teen Titans Go. Those beer trolleys, which would be a vlog because we have them in Raleigh.
There's like 8.
Yeah, bro. I just see like
too many.
20 Catherines on there all the time and like 3 Dylans, and I'm like, how does this math work out? Yeah. So I left off at beer trolleys.
All right.
20 Catherines, 3 Dylans. It's white math right there. If you take 20 Catherines divided by 3 Dylans, how many Chads do you get?
All right.
Answer that question in the comments.
And here we go. Well, okay, so what's your bet on? I'm betting on Tubi movies.
Dude, okay, I'm trying to like think of like with the theme. Okay, so we've been doing we've had media, so we've had music and we've had that.
Like shows, like visual
Yeah.
media.
All right, if I win all the if it becomes a thing where I have to win everything, I need to like change up my strategy.
Actually, no, because it's the one that you recommended. Opium Fashion.
You doing Opium Fashion?
I want Opium Fashion.
I'll do 2B movies then. I'm
All
good
right.
with either one of those.
Here we go. Ooh. What are we getting? What are we getting? What are we getting? What are we getting? Oh! Abstract art.
Abstract art. I'm cool with that.
For a hot second, I was like, "Oh, are we about to get the Joker movie?"
I wouldn't have been upset with that either, but
I kind of would
abstract
have.
art. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, we got the next episode.
Abstract art.
Abstract art.
So I would, yep. Get a book. Go to a museum.
We're going to museums.
Dude, all right.
I mean,
vlog content. We can release our first vlog based off of that.
we'll have podcasts, a little bit of vlog in between.
Yeah.
We need to get some good museum outfits.
Oh yeah, dude. We need to go with we need to go with Fred Jones like whatever he had, like his ascot like tucked in. I'm gonna be like, yes, my name is Zachary. Like, I'll be all formal.
There's Cam downtown. We'll go out to the
state.
The
one?
Duke one's free.
Yeah.
There's dude, we're hitting all of them.
Oh, bro, we're gonna be so pretentious. I'm ready.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How about you just fly somewhere? Not to enable dangerous money spending, but it'd be cool if you flew somewhere to or if you drove to Asheville.
I'm not going to Asheville.
I'm just naming.
No, but that's a good example.
Asheville, that's not bad. We'll go to Charlotte. We'll go visit Teague.
Yeah.
We'll go visit Teague and be like, hey, see what they got down there.
Yeah.
But yeah, abstract art coming up next.
All right.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, no, I'm totally looking forward to that. And with that, I'm Zach.
I'm Lew.
This is the outro. Thanks for watching the second episode.
Peace.
Peace. And that would be kind of crazy if we did go somewhere.
We can, man.
Yeah, we can. I mean, we gotta go somewhere regardless.
I mean, we'll go some of the museums here. Then we feel like we need a little more. I feel like it could be fun,
It could be fun.